It truly is 2026, and having turned 26 last week or a couple of weeks ago, at the time I was releasing this video, actually, because editing and all that, I wanted to make a video on some of the consoles I grew up on, because 1996, 2001, blah blah blah. They're all like numerical anniversaries, very big anniversaries. N64, PS2, Wii, PS3. And this video was just gonna be me talking about what I used to play as a kid, just showing random footage on emulator, because nowadays I play a lot of N64 games on emulator or the upcoming PC ports, which are honestly amazing and they're very fantastic. From what I played of them, they're all very good. And you know what's funny? I was looking through and clearing up some random stuff on my bedroom, and I found, funnily enough, this little thing right here. I found this worn, torn bag, this ancient bag, this Gatorade ancient bag, and inside, as you can just see there peeking, it's my baby boy, first console ever, my N64, my orange ugly ass N64, my ugly ass transparent N64. It's so ugly. I hate how ugly this is, but I love it. It's so cute. It's transparent. You can see all the parts there. Yeah, Nintendo used to make this thing with Nintendo 64 special editions. They were like, oh yeah, you can see the innards of it. And this is really funny. It is quite funny. You can just see all of it. But yeah, I found this. I had completely forgotten. I brought it with me when I moved out of my hometown. So I chose to boot it up. Because, I got a CRT now. I don't use it much in videos, because why would you want CRT footage? So you have the largest library, if I may. I had NBA Hang Time, whatever this is. I just remember you could create a character in this game, and that the ball turned on fire. As a kid, I knew nothing about basketball, so I thought it was just funny making a character up and giving him a wolf head for some reason. It was really, really funny. I got Automobili Lamborghini. It's a racing game. At the time, I didn't know English or Italian. I don't know Italian to this day, but English, obviously, now, yes. So I didn't understand jack shit of what was going on here. But this was a racing game, and it had the coolest cars ever. I love the polygonal cars of all the racing cars. It was really sick. Of course, yeah. Super Smash Bros. 64, of course. Obviously, I played this to hell and back. Funny Wahoo Man, funny Pikachu, of course. The ugly-ass yellow Donkey Kong 64 cartridge, the trauma of my existence. Of course. And I believe I'm missing a couple. Give me a sec. Oh, Blast! Oh, Blast Corps. Yeah, I remember hearing about this one recently. Apparently it was made by Rareware. I don't see their logo anywhere here. But I believe this is a Rareware game. I remember when I was looking for, like, oh, what did they do before Xbox? And apparently Blast Corps was there. I don't remember playing much of this. I'll boot it up for this video. I'll see what's up. You can tell this is not very much premeditated or scripted or anything. I was just like, I was so shocked finding this. I was like, oh yeah, let me hit record. And lastly, I got... The fuck is this? Oh, this is for the PS2. What the fuck is this doing here? This is for the PS2. Yeah, the big-ass power source of the N64. The big-ass source. This was always so funny to plug into the console. And lastly, of course, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, because as a kid, I grew up on a lot of bloody shit. Yeah. It all started on the N64. It will transcend to the PS2 and the PS3 as well. I don't know if you've on the Wii as well, maybe even. I found it a few days ago, and then I was like, okay, for an upcoming different video, I went and copped this. All the everything Mario 64 related I've done. I played this game first time like 5 years ago. It was during the pandemic. I didn't own this. This is not from that bag. This is just me going now in my adult life and buying it. I played it so much, but it was never in original hardware that I felt like I wanted to try it on original hardware for the first time, and this will be more of a focus on the on that upcoming Mario 64 video in the future. But yeah, this is my latest N64 game. I don't plan to start a collection or anything, but I don't know. I just felt like it resonated with me so deeply. But yeah, my N64 history, I guess. I was born in the 2000, like straight accurate 2000. The console was already there. My brothers already had it. My family already had it. We had an NES. It was the family, you know, the Famicom, the Japanese NES for some reason. That was the first time I've ever played anything video game related, the N64. And I will constantly, throughout my childhood, play Smash Bros. And all those other games I just mentioned. With friends, by myself. Surprisingly, in my childhood, not much by myself. I feel like, I don't know, I didn't like playing on the N64 so much by myself. But by myself, I will play the PS2 more often. But the N64 was more of the party machine, I guess, if you want to call it that. Whenever I had friends over, I was like, oh yeah, let's boot up the N64. I cannot really explain why. As I grew older, that's when I started playing more on the N64 by myself. Of like unlocking the Smash Bros. Characters, because you need to play the single player mode. Or actually playing Donkey Kong 64's campaign, because what I would do when friends were over, we would play the multiplayer of Donkey Kong 64, and I had never played the actual campaign, so I was shocked to find all the levels, the DK Island, all the different Kongs. To me, Donkey Kong 64 was just this little teeny tiny multiplayer place. Turns out there was a big ass huge game outside of that. The first time I actually pulled off a fatality was when I was like 9. I think it was Liu Kang's. He turns into fire and shows up from the floor. It's a really lame fatality, but I was really excited for it. You know, I did that, and the sky goes all black. And it's just fatality. As a kid, that's always sick. So the N64 was a big part of my childhood. I played a lot of games in that. Well, a lot. I showed like 7, 8 cartridges. What I did play a lot of, though, even as a kid, because my cousin was very tech-savvy, he would emulate it. He would use Project 64 in like 2007, 2008. My brothers and him would play Mario Party 3. They would not let me play because they were dicks. But that's when that sparked an interest, you know. I was seeing Mario Party 3 footage, not on the N64. Like, as a kid, obviously, you don't really notice what you're doing or seeing. I was not like, oh my god, it's on the computer. Like, on my head, it was probably the N64 plugged to the monitor or some shit, I don't know. But eventually, when I got more tech savvy, I was starting Googling things, and I was like, okay, Mario Party 3 computer, and I will find ROMs and emulators and blah, 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 blah. And with the help of my brothers, we would set up Project 64. And obviously on keyboard, because we didn't have PC controllers at the time. My cousin used to have them. We personally never did. Until like nowadays, I had the Xbox controller for PC, the PS4, and all that. So at the time, I was playing N64 games on keyboard. So that meant when I wanted to play Mario Party with someone, we would split the keyboard in half. You know, the numpad and the WASD, and play with that. Because I really liked Mario Party 3. I really liked what I was seeing. I thought it was really cute. The board, the minigames, the music. Even if I had the N64, I would go and play the N64. We never had Mario Party on it. The same happened with Mario Kart 64. We will play it on emulator with a keyboard. And those were always games that even nowadays I'm like, I wish I had them on cartridge, even if I don't boot them up. I'm like, those are games that I would love to see how they work out on their original system. Because nowadays, yeah, you got the Nintendo Switch Online, you had WiiWare at the time, you had more emulation, of course, but the N64 is such a big part of my childhood that I'm like, all these games I played for it. Eventually, I would like to play them. This little bit orange thing here. You had to use this fucking bullshit of a controller. I don't know why this one's yellow. It was probably related to Donkey Kong, or probably inherited from somewhere. We have 3 controllers in my household, so you know, the 3 kids. This analog stick is really loose, as you can see. It's really, really loose. I'm very curious how this will work out when I eventually boot it up. But it was really, it was really funny playing on this. Even now, grabbing it, I'm like, oh, this is stiff. Like, this feels weird. Like, as a kid, obviously, I had smaller hands. Now I feel like, look at this. Look at the size I'm covering. I'm covering, like, the whole thing, basically. As a kid, it was rather intuitive, actually. Like, I know the N64 gets a lot of shit. And yeah, it's a weird design compared to, like, you know, stuff we got nowadays. But, like, I don't know. In my head, it was like, okay, I put my hand here, I put my hand here. Analog stick, buttons. That's it. My childhood is funny in that sense because it splits, right? It splits into the games I had on the N64 and the games I wanted to emulate on Project 64. So that's where I will play Mario Party 3, Mario Kart. That's really about it. Surprisingly, I didn't emulate much as a kid. Yeah, Mario 64, even Mario 64, like I had all this Mario spin-off shit. And in my head I never went, why don't I play the Mario game? I don't know, kid me never cared. I had played Mario 1 because at that point it was already on browsers. So I had played Mario 1. I just never cared for Mario 64. You know, and that's where we make a big skip. My teenage years, it will sometimes, with a few friends, be like, oh, let's boot up the N64. I think it would be funny. And it was. But that's where we take the big step into the actual creation of this channel in 2020. Where I was like, man, a lot of people like Mario 64. You know, I had already played Mario Galaxy. I had already tried GameCube emulation. As more into YouTube, into watching videos and seeing people speedrunning and all that. So I was like, okay, I will give this a shot. And that's when I fell in love with Mario 64. I love that game. I have my problems with it, as fucking anyone does. But I want to get that deeper into a different video, in a long-ass video probably. But that's where my love for Mario 64 came out. As an adult. Like, my childhood was mostly party games and random licensed shit on the N64. I had never played what you consider the N64 classics. Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, Paper Mario, Mario Party 1 and 2. I never got into that. The N64, for me, even if it had... Ocarina of Time, of course, Ocarina of Time. I never played Ocarina of Time before that. That was as an adult. That one all-ancient stream I had from like 2021 in Halloween. That was my first time playing Ocarina of Time. Of course, how can I forget Ocarina of Time? Star Fox 64, of course. Guys, all these games I've made so many videos about. You can tell I keep remembering suddenly because I don't have a script. All these games I've made so many videos about, that I've sung so many praises about. Those were all as an adult. And as a kid, the N64, to me, was just a party machine. It was just something I would play with my friends. Because we were several there, and we would take turns and control Mario, Donkey Kong, Fox, Kirby, and Smash Bros. Or choose Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Mortal Kombat. Yes, we were all very bloody. Or run a fucking Lamborghini for some reason. That was just a party machine to me. As a kid. Now as an adult. I'm like, man, the N64 was revolutionary. Holy shit. And that's something now. That's something I know now. Because As a kid, I didn't have that. As a kid, it's not easy for you to just get games on console, right? You sort of end up figuring all this stuff out later as you grow up. As a kid, it's not like oh, I can just get N64 cartridges. First off, I'm in Argentina. The market for that shit here is not as big as in the US. And secondly, I'm not from a big city in Argentina. It's a rather small town. It used to be anyway. It's not like I could just walk around my neighborhood and find people selling N64 cartridges. The N64 here was, I don't know if a luxury, but more people had PlayStation 1s or the Sega Genesis. Nintendo early on here, at least, was not that big of a thing. So now as an adult, I can actually realize the impact the N64 had with all the shift to 3D, all the revolutionary games, Ocarina of Time influencing every fucking 3D action game ever existing. All the Dark Souls clones exist thanks to Ocarina of Time. All the platforming thanks to Mario 64. I joke, but like, this orange piece of shit, this is actually really important to gaming. And I know that now, and I'm eternally grateful to it, that it got me into gaming, even if I didn't realize as a kid, even if to me it was just playing games from different things. Now I realize, without this, I don't know if I would have gotten into gaming. I probably would have because of the PS2, but I don't know if I would have played the PS2 without this. Who knows, maybe my family wouldn't have bought a PS2 if it wasn't for this. I don't know that side of the story. I fear my when I asked my brothers, they didn't remember much. But to be honest, I don't know if I would have gotten into games without the N64. Maybe, but I don't know. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the Wii retrospective. I won't make a GameCube one. Even if I have played a lot of GameCube games now, that was all as an adult. And I feel like I don't want to make a GameCube retrospective because I never owned a GameCube. I barely seen a GameCube in real life. So I'm very happy for the 25 years of the GameCube. But I'll make a 25-year-old video on a different game from the GameCube. And I think you know which one. So next time we cover a console, it will be the Wii. And I'll also do one on the Switch too, because it is a year old. And I know I'm late, just been covered in work and really tired and such. But thank you so much for hearing the ramblings of a silly 26-year-old about a childhood system. If you happen to find this video, thank you so much for watching it. But yeah, go play the N64 games. PC port, emulation, whatever. Have fun.